Hello everybody. Trying to get this ring light to work. Hi friends. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Hi guys. Hi, can everyone see me, hear me? Hello, hello. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Allie. How are you? Hi, hi. I'm just giving everyone a moment to pop on. Hi. Hello, hello. Hi, Becky. Hi, hi. Hello, everybody. Okay, we got some people popping on. So I had to explain to my husband when Allie reached out. Allie, I didn't tell you this, but I played your voice messages to my husband because I absolutely love your voice and your accent. And then I had to explain to him why all of you UK friends end all your sentences in X's because we don't do that here in the States. So he thought it was funny and cute, and I think it's adorable. Hi. I think you said, like, would you fancy popping on? And, like, it just made me giggle. I love the way you guys talk. Hi, guys. Okay, so I don't know how many we are expecting today, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this will be recorded, so if you guys want to replay, you can watch the replay later. So Allie asked me to come and talk to you guys about social media and attraction marketing. And so if you aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Dani. I am a superstar director. I am from Central Florida, so we lived about like 30 minutes from Mickey Mouse, so Disney World, but we recently moved to southern Mississippi, so it's about like 9 hours away from where we were, and it's actually really cool. There's a lot of history here. So I used to live there. It is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's nighttime for you guys, right? I think it's so crazy doing the different time zones and all of that. I know home office has got to be going crazy when they do their lives and all that, trying to work it out for everybody. Because when they do like their end of months, it's like super late for you guys, right? So that's a lot of craziness. I moved 1 hour in the time zone when we moved from Florida to Mississippi, and it threw me off. So you guys being so far ahead, it's like you guys are time travelers. You're in the future. So anyway, my name is Dani. I've been with Scentsy for I just celebrated 6 years. Now, when I started doing Scentsy, I came from another direct sales company. So the business that I had prior to Scentsy, I started that online. So the company I was with was really kind of the pioneer of running direct sales on social media solely. They weren't doing home parties. They were kind of the ones that pioneered the Facebook party and doing things virtually. That's something they really wanted to focus on, a platform they wanted to focus on when they started that direct sales company. So I did a training for another team last night, and I had someone ask, how did you move your business from in-person to online? And the answer to that is I've always been online. That's how I grew up in direct sales. So when I did that business, that is how that's just how I learned direct sales. It was my very first direct sales business. And while I loved the product, I didn't really necessarily love the company or the culture. So when I found Scentsy a couple of years later, it kind of felt like home to me, and I was like, yes, this is where I want to be. I loved the people, I loved the culture, I loved the products. I had a 2-year-old at home, and I was pregnant with my second. So if you guys follow me, I was pregnant with Reese Pie. So I ended up I took a couple months to really kind of think and pray on it before I made the leap, and I started my Scentsy business, and I've never really looked back. But I came into Scentsy knowing that social media was the platform that I wanted to utilize for my business. And I remember someone telling me, well, we don't do that here at Scentsy. You're not going to be very successful if you solely focus on doing your business on social media. And my approach to that was like, okay, well, watch me. So people shouldn't tell me no, because I'll do it twice and I'll take pictures. So I've just always done my business on social media. Now, the biggest gap with doing your business on social media is the benefit of doing your business in person. So whether you're doing events or home parties or whatever. So imagine you're doing a home party, right? So you're at your host's house, you're opening the doors, you're greeting the guests, you're smiling, you're interacting, you're talking to them while they're smelling the testers, and you do your little presentation, and they're able to see how you look, and they're able to see how you talk and move, and you've set up all your display and all of that, right? So they can really kind of get that connection with you. But with social media, the gap that I have to bridge is I have to have people feel as though they know me without ever having met me. So they have to feel as though that they have that same kind of connection that they would have had if they had met me in person, but online. So all of my customers, for the most part, all of my customers are virtual. All of my team members, for the most part, are virtual. I've never met them, and I have people that have watched my kids grow up. They have watched our move from Florida to Mississippi. They've watched our dogs and our cats, and they know everybody and everything and whatever. So it's just in the way that I've been able to bridge that gap and making them feel as though they know me without ever having met me. And how do you do that? So first and foremost, it's being authentic. So make sure that when you are presenting yourself online, and the people that you follow, the accounts that you follow, or the people that you look up to, whatever, make sure that they're authentic as well, so that you're surrounding yourself with really great role models and things to aspire to. But authenticity is going to be your biggest thing. If you're not being authentic, you're either going to get burnt out or you're going to get found out. So if you're being one of those fake it till you make it people, or if you're pouring a bunch of energy into things that just really isn't you, you're going to get tired of it, or people are going to realize it's not genuine. And you want people to follow you because they enjoy you. The great thing about social media and the great thing about our business is people will choose you to follow you or buy from you or join your team or whatever because they have a connection with you. And sometimes it's for the things that you feel most vulnerable about, or things that you feel the most insecure about. If you think to yourself, well, I can't go live, I can't do videos or anything like that because I've got kids screaming in the background, I've got dogs barking in the background, my house is a mess, it's not picture perfect, it's not catalog home, whatever. Those might be the very reasons that people say, oh yes, our lives look so similar, right? No one looks at Kim Kardashian and thinks like, oh yeah, we're soul sisters, we have so much in common. So make sure that you are doing your authentic self. Someone I really love to use is director Brittany Lucas. She's really, really open about like her mental health and the struggles that she's gone through with that. She had really, really bad postpartum depression that she had to get an in-person treatment thing for, and she went through this whole big thing, and I know that's something that she was super vulnerable about, but those are the things that people connected with because maybe they went through postpartum depression, and that was something that they're able to level on and see themselves in her, and make that connection. So even if it's things that you feel embarrassed about or insecure about, those might be the very reasons that people connect with you. So obviously do it on a level that you're comfortable with, but don't be embarrassed by it, because those are the things that people are going to go, oh, me too, I go through that too. I remember doing a team training, and I'm in it, I'm on a roll, whatever, and all of a sudden little laughy faces start flying up the side of my screen, and I'm like, I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny. And I ended up like catching the look in the back of me that my dogs were humping. So if you feel as though you aren't perfect enough to go live, there's that. So that think of me anytime you feel as though that didn't go well. So it's real life, and it happens, and people laugh, and I think it just kind of makes them love you more. So the more crazy or ridiculous or vulnerable you are, the more interaction that you're going to get, more people are going to really connect with you. Another tip is pick a lane. So find a platform that you're comfortable with, get really good at that, and then maybe start adding in new stuff. So for me, my main platform is Facebook. I have an Instagram, I have a Pinterest, I have a TikTok, I have all the things, but I really focus on Facebook. I'm able to kind of focus on both Instagram and Facebook because I can post to Instagram and it automatically just posts whatever I did there to Facebook. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. But my main focus is my Facebook. So whether you're really great at Pinterest or Instagram or wherever you feel super comfortable, get really good at that and then start adding in stuff versus spreading yourself thin over all these platforms and kind of half-assing everything versus being really great at something. You know what I mean? So doing that. Let's see. Someone had asked me last night, how do I get consistent interaction? It really just depends. It depends on what you're sharing, how you're sharing it, where you're sharing it. So for those of you who follow, do any of you guys follow Jilly Sue? She's great. Her main platform is Instagram, and she's kind of like a little social media mogul. She's awesome. She actually teaches people how to use social media for like other businesses and things. And I had asked her when stories first came out, when Instagram and Facebook had their stories come out. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Is it supposed to be the same thing? I'm just posting in two different places. It confused me at first, and she really kind of broke it down in a way that I love, and I love to share if you guys ever get confused as to what you should be posting. So your post should be really good content. So something educational, motivational, inspirational, funny, something impactful, right? So your post should be impactful content, and then your stories are kind of that backstage pass. So it's kind of like the behind the scenes look. So for example, if any of you guys follow like Maggie Hensley is awesome. I love her. She's got 5 boys, 2 of which they fostered and adopted. So her story is amazing if you guys don't follow her. But she'll post these beautiful photos of their whole family in a field, and they look gorgeous, like they should be in a catalog, and you think to yourself, there's no way, their family's so perfect, I could never be like that. And then you go to her stories and it's the rowdy crazy of every day, all the backstage stuff, and you're like, okay, so she's just a normal mom with 5 rambunctious boys and everything's crazy. So you're able to kind of get that backstage glimpse of what real life is for everybody in your story. So take them along your day to day. Show them how you're making samples. Show them you at the coffee shop and what you order. Just all these little backstage into your life little sneak peek glimpses is what your story should be. Make sure with your attraction marketing, guys, that people are able to look and resonate with that or think me too, or be that breath of fresh air. So if you guys do self-development, and if you don't, I would highly recommend it, especially if you guys are emerging leaders. Make sure that you pour into some self-development, because this business in particular is not one that requires any kind of degree or continuing education or anything. It's on us to do that. So any other education, like if you're going for a degree, if you're going for to be a specific profession, you would need different backgrounds of education, right? And so that's not required here with Scentsy, so it's on us to do that. And whether you read, whether that's a podcast, whether that's YouTube trainings, whatever, make sure that you're pouring your time into that, because it's going to that's on you, and you're going to notice that you're not going to grow in your business if you're not growing personally. So it's going to be a huge thing. So I know that's not social media involved, but that's a tip for emerging leaders from me. So one of the authors I love is Simon Sinek. So Simon Sinek, Sinek, and he writes start with why, find your why, leaders eat last, better together. He's an awesome, and he also has podcasts, he has YouTube trainings, all the things. And one of the things I love in his Start With Why book is he talks about why certain businesses or CEOs do really great. Why do they have cult followings over other businesses that sell a similar product? So he talks about like Apple and Southwest, and what are they doing? Why are people so in love with them? Apple could come out with like the eye tampon and everybody would want it just because it's made by Apple. And one of the things he talks about was Disney and how people just relate Disney to like kind of those warm, fuzzy, childlike wonder. You know, you say Disney and everyone's just like, oh yeah, Disney, you know? So I want to approach my social media that when people hear Dani, oh yeah, you know, Dani's great. I love having her in my news feed. Dani's the safe person. Dani's the safe place I can go. I want to make sure that when people see me come up in their news feed or they see a post from me, they end up on my profile somehow, I want them to be able to have a safe space there where it's not political, it's not heavy, it's not crazy, it's not ranting all the time. I try to keep any of my strong life, political values, all the things off of social media, and I rant to my husband. That's what I married him for. So that's how I approach my social media. So if it's not educational, motivational, funny, it doesn't belong on my personal Facebook, Instagram profiles, whatever. I want to be that breath of fresh air because there's so much doom and gloom and crap going on in the world. I want them to see my name and go, okay, Dani won't lead me astray. Dani will do she won't do any crazy things. So I want to be that safe space for people and where they feel as though they can do business with me, because honestly, I don't care what side of the fence people sit on. It doesn't matter if they agree with me or disagree with me on values or whatever. I can still be professional enough to do business with them, or whether it's a customer, whether it's a team member, whatever. So that's how I approach my profiles. And then also make sure that when you are sharing Scentsy, that you're sharing it in a way that is sharing and not selling, where people, you know, have you ever been to like a car? We went, when we were pregnant with Reese, we needed a new car. We had this teeny tiny Kia Soul, and it fit our son, who was 2, it fit his car seat right in the middle of the back seat. But to put 2 car seats back there, it was so tiny. It was like a little clown car. And so we needed to upgrade. We were going to go get a Kia Sorento, and I was pregnant. We were going to these different dealerships to see what we liked and whatever. And there was this one dealership that we went to, and this guy, he was one of the salesmen. He came up and he was just like breathing down our necks the whole time. And like by the time we left, I felt like I needed to take a shower. I'm just like, oh, he's so greasy. I didn't feel good, right? And I want to make sure that when I am selling, that I don't come off that way, that people don't feel like, oh, so yucky, gross MLM. I want people to kind of not even realize I'm selling to them, because I want to rope them into a lifestyle, not a product, right? Because again, they're buying from me as a person, not from Scentsy, the company. So making sure that when you do share products or opportunity or whatever, it's coming super personal. You're not using flyers. You're not using marketing images that are looking really salesy. Obviously, like today we had Star Wars and Little Mermaid announced, right? And so we don't have real life photos of those yet. So using marketing photos for that kind of stuff, but then swapping in those real life things when you can is going to be super impactful for your business. So staying away as much as you can from like marketing and flyers and more towards the lifestyle photos. And I'm assuming with you guys it would be the same over here as an R1, but everyone's really great at sharing product photos, like real life photos in the leader pages so that everyone can share it with their teams. I hope it's the same in R2. So if you don't have that product, you could ask someone for a photo of that in real life to be able to share. And that's one of the things I love about the Scentsy culture. So making sure that you're sharing these real life things so that people can see it and go, oh, okay, this looks great on her foyer table. This would look really awesome on my bookshelf or whatever, so that they can really focus on how this would look in their home. They're able to envision that. And then when you're talking about like the Scentsy opportunity, it's not this join here, oh, it's only $25 to join. You're sharing the opportunity regularly. You're talking about the blessings that Scentsy gives you in your day-to-day life. And that don't just equal money, that equal experience, that equal time, that equal So whatever it is that you join Scentsy for that brings value to your life, make sure you share that on a regular basis and not just days that we have a join special. Hi friends, I see you guys are popping on. Go ahead and start listing any questions for me down below if you have any, because I am running out of notes. So if you have any questions specifically for me, go ahead and start put those there. Let's see. But interaction. So how you post, where you post, what you're posting is going to depend on your interaction. So the more personable you can make it, the more vulnerable or authentic that you can make it, you're going to get a lot more interaction with that versus if you're just posting marketing images of a product, right? Also, something that I love is like when you do your stories, right? So when you're doing your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories, if you click on them, it'll show you how many people have viewed it. Now, maybe only a couple people like hearted it or reacted to it somehow, whether they commented or whatever, but it'll still show you, this many people saw your story, 220 people saw your story. So even though not everyone commented or interacted with it, there's still 220 people that still saw your story, right? So think of it, even though you're not seeing that number on just a post, it doesn't mean that people aren't seeing it. It's still there. So it's still grabbing their attention. They're still seeing it on a daily basis. They just might not be interacting with it for whatever reason. So just because you're not getting interaction doesn't mean that they're not seeing it. Okay. Another question I had last night was how do I grow my network? So I do 30-minute live Facebook parties on Facebook events. I don't like groups. I'm an event girl. So what I'll do is I'll do 30-minute live parties on an event, and I'll have my hostess invite 30 to 50 people, whoever she thinks is interested. And of those people that say going or maybe, I send them a friend request. One, because I'm assuming if they're friends with my friend, they're cool people. Otherwise, I can block them later if I need to. And about like 85% of the time, people will accept my friend requests. And even if they don't buy from that party, now I'm in their newsfeed. Now they get to see me every single day, and I'm able to advertise to them every single day. And if they do buy from the party, then I'm able to build that relationship where it wasn't just this one-time transaction. It's now we're developing a relationship. They can come into my life and see who I am, and same thing with me, and I can interact with them on a genuine basis, right? So I do that, of course, like referrals and things. So I'm always growing my network in that way. On Instagram, what balance do you have between how many lifestyle, not Scentsy, and how many product sharings you do? How much Scentsy is too much? So I really think it is about how you're sharing. So if you're sharing in such a way where people don't feel sold to, you're going to get away with a lot more than if you were just sharing constant marketing images. So if I've seen people's Facebook profiles where it's just Scentsy, 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 and it's so many marketing photos, and that's going to be a big no-no. You want to have, you're more than just Scentsy, right? You don't want to be a Scentsy infomercial where it's just Scentsy, Scentsy, Scentsy. They know you're the Scentsy girl. They get it. And it's great to show them how you're using your products and what you love and all of that. But make sure that everything you post isn't about Scentsy. They're following you for you. And what is it that who are you other than Scentsy? What is it that you enjoy? Do you enjoy baking? Do you garden? Do you have kids? Do you homeschool? Do you have dogs that you love? Are you involved in a charity? Are you involved in your church? Do you volunteer? Are your kids in gymnastics? What are things that could lure people in? So think about like strings, right? So you already have one string connecting you to your customer because they like Scentsy, right? But the more strings that you can get attached from you to them, whether it's because you guys have kids of a similar age, or your kids are both in baseball, or you both help with dog rescues or whatever, the more strings, the more involved and the more willing they're going to be to support you, to recommend you, share you, all the things. So making sure that you are being as genuine in you as possible versus just Scentsy. There's not a Scentsy Dani and a regular Dani. It's all just part of Dani, and I try to make sure that I'm sharing a rounded version of that. Any other questions? Let's see, hold on. On Instagram, the balance, yes, okay, got that. Why are my comments scrolling? Okay. I think, are there any other questions, you guys? Also, when it comes to social media, I had mentioned Making sure that you follow people that inspire you. Make sure that when you do that, guys, so find people that you love or look up to, right? So I named a few people. So if you follow them, great. If not, I would recommend following those, like Chelsea Otto, Maggie Hensley, Steffi Malbrough, Christina Stainbrook. There's so many really awesome people out there that you can learn a ton from. Ariel Huggins. So follow those people, but make sure that when you are watching them and you want to emulate them, make sure that you aren't copying what they say. See what they're doing and take inspiration from that, and see how you can youify it. See how I can watch what Maggie does or whoever, and how can I Danify that? How can I make it me? Because again, the more personable you make it, the more genuine and more authentic you're going to be for people to connect with you. Also know that sometimes when you are following to get inspiration, sometimes you can fall into the trap of feeling less than, or I'm not as successful as these people, or I feel less than because I don't make as much money, my house is not as great, my kids aren't as well behaved, blah, 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 blah. If you're falling into that trap, it might be time to kind of put your blinders on and not take inspiration from that, and instead maybe pour into like some reading development or podcast development versus looking outwards, because that's some personal work that you got to do within yourself before you're able to take inspiration from others. So you're going to need to do some inner work before you can take inspiration from the outside. But also know that your social media, especially like your Facebook, you've got 5,000 seats, right? 5,000 seats to your show. Do not let someone take up a seat that's not being supportive of you, that you dread seeing in your news feed, that doesn't inspire you. So either boot them out or block them, unfollow them. Make sure that you're curating what you see and hear and watch in your social media, because anything that is there, you're allowing. You have complete control of that. Do you post everything on your personal page and not have a customer group? So I don't have a VIP group. I've never found value in having one. If you have a VIP group and it works great, then awesome. Keep doing that. I've just never needed one. My PRV ranges anywhere between 3.5, like 3,500 to I think the most I've ever had is 8,600 PRV a month. So I've not needed one. I've not needed to utilize one, but if you guys are rocking the VIP world, then keep doing that. Any other questions, you guys? I think that's all I got. So if you guys are afraid of social media, I promise you it's because you're overthinking it. It's not nearly as much as being perfect as it is just being consistent. Show up and be who you are, be authentic, and trial and error. Social media evolves like monthly. it's changing all the time. So I mean, you can reinvent yourself at any point and just kind of really fine tune what it is that you're doing and how you're sharing and all of that. So just keep up and stay consistent with it. All right, well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much for having me, and good night. Bye.